Okay. Now, okay. So what I am telling you something about the NCL. Guys, NCL means new client launch. New client launch means, for example, when you join a company and if your manager assign you one ticket and that ticket is related to the NCL. NCL means new client launch. Getting my point, everyone? So what are the things come in your mind? Anyone, any idea? Do you have an whatever the idea you have, you can share. For example, you join and your manager assign you one request for the NCL, new client launch. For example, your client is telling, hey Nabil, do one thing. In my company, in our company, there is a new client that is, for example, LinkedIn. Who is LinkedIn? So please create the network for it or design the network. Getting my point? What I'm trying to say, everyone.
Yep. Yes.
So
Yes.
in this type of scenario, as an engineer or as a network engineer, your manager is telling, please design the network. For example, I'm working in the Noida. So in Noida location, there are multiple floors. There are multiple floors. So definitely there one floor will be assigned, yes or no, everyone, right? One
Yes.
floor will be assigned. For example, my company assigned tower number 12 and my company is telling, please give floor number 10 for LinkedIn. On this floor, the capacity is around 500 users. How many users? 500 users. So first of all, as a network engineer, what you will do? There are one person, or you can say there are one designation that is called TAM. You know what is TAM? Technical Account Manager. What is, guys? Technical Account Manager. For every project, there will be a one Technical Account Manager. Fine. What is the roles and responsibility of this person? What is the roles and responsibility of this person? Basically, this person is the bridge between the company and direct client. And not only company and client. Company means in company, for example, ops. Ops means, guys, operations. You know, no operations, everyone. Operations means who is working. Getting my point, everyone? For example, there are 200,
Yes.
300 users is working for the LinkedIn. Fine. So that is called ops. For example, IT team. Right? IT team. For example, server team. For example, EUC. EUC means endpoint, I think end user competence. Okay, that is called service desk. Fine. So basically, there are multiple people who is working in the company that is called. So that's the reason I write here only company. Fine. So this is the TAM, and this TAM works like a bridge. Bridge means this TAM directly connected with the client, and this TAM asks the requirement with the client. What are the tools you guys are going to use? What are the bandwidth you guys going to use? Everything, every detail. So as a network engineer, you will get the PL file. You will get the PL file from the TAM side. Now again, this is the new term for you. What is PL file? You know, everyone? Anyone? PL file? No? PL file means project launch file. What is, guys? Project launch file. And who shared you this file? TAM. In this file, what are the things you guys will get? in this file, generally you guys will get the detail or requirement of the client. Getting my point, everyone? Understand? So as a network
Yes.
engineer, what are the requirements of client? This is not your task to directly connect with the client. No, never. And company never wants these things, right? So your task is just directly connected with the TAM. And this is the responsibility of TAM to connect with the client and ask all the requirement. Getting my point, everyone? So when client will tell all the requirement to the TAM, what TAM will do? TAM will create the project launch file, or that is called PL file. Fine. And in this file, everything will be there. In this file, everything will be there. Getting my point, everyone? Yes or no? And client will share this PL file with the company, not only for the network engineer, because in this PL file, requirement is related to the system. For example, how many systems going to use. So as a network engineer, this is not your responsibility. Yes or no? Yes, na? Tell me.
Yes. Yes.
Right?
Yes.
For example, on a floor, let's suppose 200 system is going to install or deploy. So as a network engineer, this is not your job. This is the job of EUC. Right now, everyone? Yes or no? Yes. For example, uh, client is telling, I'm going to use the private IP address 10.0.0.0 slash, for example, 24 like this. Getting my point, everyone? So this is also not your responsibility. This is the responsibility of server team to assign the subnet or check the DHCP, DNS like this. Getting my point, everyone? Yes or no? Tell me, right? For example, client is telling, hey, for India location, I'm going to hire around 200 people for LinkedIn. So now you have estimate idea. For LinkedIn project, client is going to hire how many people? 200 people. So I hope you have approx idea how many IP address you need. Are you tell me yes or no? Yes, na. So what server team will do? Server team will create the subnet. For example, server team will create the /24 subnet for LinkedIn. In /24, how many IP address you will get? I hope everyone is aware about the subnetting. /24. 24 means total size of an IP address is 32 bit, right? 32 minus 24, how much? Tell me. 8, na? Or no? 8. So 2 the power 8, how much? Around 256, right? Tell me, yes, na? 256 IP address. In 256 IP address, first IP address is called the network ID and last IP address is called broadcast ID. So we are not using these two. So usable IP address will be how much? 254. Yes or no? Yes.
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 So definitely server team will provide /24 subnet. And server team will tell the network team, hey, just use this /24 network. Getting my point, everyone? Yes or no? Yes, na? So now, for example, server team is given you the IP address, for example, 10.0 or 10.1.180.0/24, this subnet. Getting my point, everyone? So as a network admin, now you have idea, you get this subnet from server team. Server team provide you this subnet. And this subnet I'm going to provide which client? LinkedIn. Getting my point, everyone? Yes or no? Tell me, right? Now, for example, you have idea 10.1.180.0/24. Now, as a network admin, what you will do? First of all, you need to create the VLAN. Which VLAN you are going to create? Anyone who can tell me? Please remember, what are the subnet you will get? The third octet. Generally, in maximum companies, we are preferring the third octet. Which one, guys? Third octet. Fine. So here, what is the first octet? 10. Second octet, 1, third octet 180, fourth octet 0. So this VLAN I am going to use for LinkedIn. VLAN number how much? 180. Getting my point, everyone? Are tell me. Understand?
Yes. Yes.
Now,
Yes. Understood.
now in a company, generally you guys will get there are two types of VLAN. In theoretical part, we all only read L2 VLAN, but there are two types of VLAN, guys. L2 VLAN and L3 VLAN. Fine. Understand? L3 VLAN, we are L3 VLAN, you can say L3 VLAN as a SBI also. What? SBI. Fine. So, for example, now you understand for LinkedIn, you are going to assign which VLAN? 180. Understand, everyone? So 180. So I told you there are two types of VLAN, L2 and L3. Now tell me one thing. If you guys have something idea in the class, also I told you in maximum company there are what are the architecture? For example, that is the access layer. Yes or no? Right now, and then there will be a distribution layer, right? So on access layer, which switch, which device you are going to use? Access switch, right? And on the distribution layer, generally we are using the DR, a distribution router, right? Na? Are tell me yes or no? Yes, na? These things clear, na, everyone? Tell me.
Yes. Clear.
Okay.
Yes.
Please remember, on access layer, generally we create the L2 VLAN, not L3, never. Fine. And on distribution layer or on DR, generally we create the L2 and L3 both. Getting my point, everyone? Yes or no? Clear na? So now this VLAN, you have idea that this VLAN I have, and two VLAN I need to create, L2 VLAN and L3 VLAN. So on access switch, you create the L2 VLAN. On DR, you create the L2 and L3. Now again, you have question, sir, actually what is the use of L3 VLAN? Guys, L3 VLAN is known as the SBI, and SBI means generally, for example, if you create VLAN and L3 VLAN is like, always please remember like this, 2180. This is the L3 VLAN and this is the L2 VLAN. Getting my point? For example, if there is another client whose VLAN is, for example, 169, that is L2 or L3? Who can tell me? That is L2. And 169, that is L3. Fine, na? So please don't confuse. So this is the, so you can understand like this, 100 range of VLAN is called L2 and 1000 range of VLAN is called L3. Fine, na? So that is 1000. So that is L3, that is 100. That's the reason this is L2. Now, for example, you create VLAN 2182, name, LinkedIn, data, out. Fine. This is the name of the VLAN. Fine. Now, after that, what you will do? You will assign the IP address also. For example, VLAN, this one, you can go in the global configuration mode and you can write interface VLAN 2180, and here you can assign the IP address. What IP address you can assign? Who can tell me? Can I assign here 10.0.0.1? Answer is no. Guys, every time you have to assign the IP address, same IP address which you assign to the LinkedIn. To LinkedIn, you assign this network, na? Yes or no? Are tell me, right, na?
Yes.
Do you guys understand? Yes or no? For LinkedIn, which network you assign? This network you assign, right? So to the LinkedIn, you have to assign any IP address for LinkedIn. That IP address must belongs to this network, right? For example, if I'm telling 10.1.180.1, 10.1.180.2, 10.1.180.3, like this. Getting my point, everyone? Yes or no? Yes. Generally, in a company, this IP address, .1 IP address, we assign this IP address to HSRP. Where, guys? HSRP. Getting my point, everyone? What is the use of HSRP? Anyone? By the help of HSRP, we create the virtual gateway. Yes or no?
Yes,
Tell
clear.
me.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
We create the
Fail our
virtual
purpose.
gateway. So, for example, in a LinkedIn, there are 200 users. So, for all the 200 users, you are not going to change a default gateway every time. Yes or no? Yes. So, that's the reason we are using the HSRP on the DR. We configure the HSRP on the DR. Getting my point? So, on DR, you create the HSRP and assign this IP as the virtual gateway. So all the machine which is present or which is deployed in the LinkedIn, that machine get the default gateway how much? 10.1.180.1. Clear? Anyone? Any doubt?
No, clear.
Now,
So far.
second one, 10.1.180.2. This IP address you are going to assign here. This VLAN. Interface VLAN 2180, then write IP address how much? 10.1.180.2, like this. So that is, for example, DR number 1. I already told you in the class, generally we have a 2 DR for the redundancy, right now, everyone? One is the primary DR and second one is the backup DR. And in HSRP also we discuss these things. We have a 2 edge device, na, everyone? Yes or no? One will be the primary and second will be secondary. Yes or no? Right? Tell me.
Yeah.
Right?
Yes.
So generally on one device, we set the priority higher. For example, 105. And this is secondary. Priority is.
Fine.
So when it will down, it behave like a primary. Right? So if you are configuring the DR number 1, you must need to configure the DR number 2 also. Yes or no? Yes. So for example, on DR number 1, you configure this one. 10.1.180.2. On DR number 2, what you configure? This one, .3. Getting my point, everyone? Yes or no? Clear? Tell me.
Yes, yes.
Now, what you will do? You will just, what you will do? 10.3 is reserved. Okay, na? So what you will do? You just take some IP for the backup. For example, 10.1.1. Sorry, 180.10. You do not assign, generally we are not assigning dot 10 to any device. From 11, we are going to assign this IP address to where? On the access switch. Where, guys? Access switch. Now again, you guys will ask, sir, on access switch, why we are going to assign the IP address? Getting my point, everyone? Do you guys understand? Yes or no? Tell me first. This is the DR number 1. This is the DR number 2. Understand? On DR number 1, which IP address I assign, guys? For first of all, for the HSRP,
True.
10.1.180.1.
180.
Okay. For VLAN 2180, for this VLAN on DR number 1, I assign 10.1.180.2. Yes? Tell me. On DR number 2, for the same VLAN 2180, I assign 10.1.180.3. Yes or no? Done? Tell me.
Yeah. Yes.
Okay. Now, for example,
10.1.180.2 outside case, sir. That is which is sir.
where is, what is outside means?
Out.
I'm not getting what do you mean by VLAN?
Actually, 1.hsrp is connected and 10.1.180.2 is connecting
Yes,
VLANs.
that is configured on the L3 VLAN. That is the SVI.
Okay.
That is SBI. Whenever you configure the SBI, you must need to configure the IP address. Then it will behave like a SBI. Okay. Now, that, that is the floor. On this floor, definitely there will be a switch. That is called access switch. Yes or no? Yes? Are tell me, right? Na? For example, on this floor, there are 6 switches are there. How many? 6. And these 2 switches are in the stack like this. So it means these 2 switch behave like a single one, and these 2 single one, and these 2 single one. Now, for example, if you are working from home also, you need to take the console of these switches. Yes or no? If you work or if you try to access these switches from home also, so what you need to do? You need to take the console now on this switch. Yes or no? Yes, generally. But how?
Yes.
Generally, on average switches, there are one VLAN that is called the management VLAN. What is called, guys? Management VLAN. And on management VLAN, you need to assign the IP. If you do not assign the IP to the management VLAN, you will be not able to access that switch through remote. Getting my point? So what I told you, from 80.1, 80.2, and 80.3. These 3 IP address you already assign at which layer? Distribution layer. Fine. So for the future, to consider the futuristic use, what you will do, you just reserve 180.10. Just reserve this IP address. From 11, you can assign the next IP address. So on this switch, you can assign 180.11. On this switch, you can assign 180.12. And on this switch, you can assign 180.13. Getting my point, everyone? Yes or no? Understand? Are you tell me?
Sir, management VLAN means.
Management VLAN means, for example, if you try to access this switch from home, so definitely you need a console. If you do not take the console of this switch, how can you configure? Getting my point? First of all, you need the console. And generally, management VLAN is the VLAN by which you can manage the switch. For example, in the real time, if you delete the management VLAN, unfortunately, company will fire you immediately. Why? Because if you delete the management VLAN, it means no one is able to now access the switch remotely. It means you need to check the switch now physically. Getting my point? For example, every engineer is working from home. Try to understand the scenario. For example, every engineer is working from home. And let's suppose you are working in the night and suddenly you delete the management VLAN. Now tell me, who will go to the office? Because now no one can take the access of the switch remotely. It means now physically you have to go to the office. Yes or no? To check the things. Tell me, yes or no? Understand? For example, you are living 40 kilometer, 50 kilometer away. So definitely you take time. You need time to reach the office. For example, you take 2 hours. It means till 2 hour issue is already there because no one is able to fix this. Right now, because anyone needs physically there. Are you tell me yes or no? Understand? Try to
Yes, sir.
understand. So in this case, if let's suppose you reach the office after 2 hours, it means till 2 hour issue is there. And all the production is now stopped. Now tell me, who will manage the billing loss of the client for 2 hours? In 2 hours, there will be a maybe in crores of you can say in loss in the crores. Getting my point, everyone? So that's the reason generally whenever we are configuring the thing in the real environment, that is not something, for example, whenever you are doing the lab in the GNS or packet tracer, you just go into the global configuration mode and do the things. No, in real scenario, never these things happen. whatever the things you will change, first of all, you need to follow the process. What are the process? We will discuss later, but you must need to follow the process. Getting my point, everyone? Are you telling me?
Yes.
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 So in real time, in global, even for example, if you are a junior network administrator, maybe on the distribution layer, you do not have the global configuration mode access. So that's the reason in many company access is provided according to the designation. Getting my point? Understand, everyone? Clear? So first, the things we are going to discuss, first thing about VLAN and trunk related thing. Actually, when in this topic, we will discuss whenever you have a task related to the VLAN, related to the trunk, how generally we process. Getting my point, everyone? Understand what I'm trying to say?
Yes, sir.
For example, not every time you will get the ticket for the NCL. There will be a ticket for the growth also. Growth means, any idea about the growth? Growth ticket. There are two types of ticket. First is NCL and second one is growth. Growth means, for example, LinkedIn is already present in your company. And right now, how many users are there? 200 users are there. Fine. Now, after 1 year, LinkedIn is telling, hey, I want 200 users more. I'm going to hire for India. So that is not a new client. That is growth. Getting my point, everyone? So NCL means whenever any fresh client will come, that is called NCL. So in this case, you need to create the complete network. But for the growth, you do not need to create the complete network. You need to check only DHCP scope. Getting my point, everyone? For example, server team already provides /24. It means how many users are to you can assign the IP address maximum 254. Now
254.
LinkedIn is going to hire 200 more people. So in this case, you need the different DHCP scope. Yes or no? Or different subnet? And you tell me yes or no? Yes, na?
Mhm.
Yes. So again, you go for the server team and again you will request server team give you, see, 10.1.179.0/24. Server team assign you this network. It means, now see the thing. Before LinkedIn, you assign which network? 10.1.180.0/24. Yes or no? Yes. Now server team assign you this one. So when previously you have this network, in this network, how many IP address? 254. And again here also 254. And what are the VLAN here? 180. And now according to this subnet, what is the VLAN? 179. Are you getting my point? Yes or no? It means, what is the conclusion? For
Yes.
LinkedIn, how many VLAN you have? VLAN 180, VLAN 179. Two VLAN is there. And generally, this is possible. You can't, you don't think like this, sir, there is a LinkedIn and for LinkedIn, we have a only single VLAN. No. For any one client, maybe there will be a 2-3 different subnet. It depends upon the requirement. Now, again, you can ask, sir, maybe it's possible, instead of creating two VLAN, can we assign the bigger network? Yes, it's possible, but generally we are not doing in a company like this. This is not guarantee LinkedIn have every time 400 bandwidth. Maybe there will be a recession and they decrease the count. Getting my point? So every time you are not going to change the things. Getting my point, everyone? Yes or no? Understand? Are you tell me?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
on VLAN and trunk means generally we will discuss on new client launch how we create the VLAN, and for the growth how we create the VLAN. Now in trunk, for example, this is the access switch, and here LinkedIn peoples are sitting. For example, VLAN is 180 is there. So definitely on the access link there will be uplink, right? That is called trunk. Are you tell me right na? And that this uplink is connected with the DR na? Yes or no? Yes,
Yeah.
na? I told you. So on this uplink, what you will do? You will allow VLAN 80. Yes or no? Tell me. Right? If you do not allow the VLAN 80, then how the traffic will go to the DR? This is not possible. Right? Na? So on the trunk, you need to allow the VLAN number 180. On DR also, you need to allow VLAN 180. Not only 180, you need to allow the L3 VLAN also 2180. Getting my point, everyone? Anyone who do not understand? Done? Are you tell me? Whenever we allow the VLAN on the trunk, we keep the some points needs to remember. Okay, now what are those points? We will discuss these things. But this is the thing we need to understand here in the VLAN and trunk. Not only this, there is one more thing. I told you, if you guys remember, about the MOP, right? Everyone. Whenever you are going to configure anything, for example, VLAN, trunk or anything, you need to create the MOP. MOP is the thing that is the official document. That is official document. And in this document, you need to mention what are the changes you are going to configure on your access switch on as well as on DR. And your manager, your the seniors will review that MOP, and once they will approve, then after you can configure the things. Getting my point? Everyone understand? Anyone who do not understand anything? Clear? Guys?
Yes.
Okay. So MOP means in VLAN and trunk, I will show you how actually what are the things we need to mention in MOP also. Okay. Now, once we cover the VLAN and trunk, I will discuss you something about the NCL and growth. Fine, everyone. Now, after that, we will discuss access switch configuration. Access switch configuration. Clear? Everyone, tell me. Access switch configuration. Now, I will show you something about the DR configuration. What? DR configuration. In DR configuration, I will tell you about the VLAN. I will tell you about the trunk. I will tell you about the port channel also. Done? Everyone, clear? Port channel means this is the DR1 and this is the DR2. Between DR1 and DR2, there will be a two link. How many link, guys? Two link, and generally these two link must be a port channel. Getting my point? Everyone, tell me. Understand? So that is the port channel, and this port channel will be where, guys? Between the DR. Done? Anyone who do not understand, tell me. Tell me, guys. Clear? Okay.
Yes, clear.
Until now, yes.
Now, after this, move on to the new things that is called Palo Alto. Anyone have any idea about the Palo Alto? Anyone?
Yeah, firewall, firewall.
That is
Firewall.
the, what is the use?
For the security.
Okay, cool. So
Packet filtering.
Yes, exactly. The main thing is URL filtering. In Palo Alto, we are going to discuss about the URL filtering. I will show you one more thing in Palo Alto about the on Palo Alto, we can also configure the VLAN. You know these things? No, na? So we will discuss about the URL filtering. Okay. Not only the Palo Alto, we will discuss about the Panorama also. You know what is Panorama? Anyone?
No.
See, anyone know about the WLC? What is the use?
Yes, wireless controller.
What is the use of WLC?
Management.
Management. By the help of WLC, what you manage?
It's
Wireless.
APs. Wireless
AP.
access points.
For example, in your company, let's suppose there are 1,000 number of APs. This is not possible to this is not possible for an engineer to go each and every AP and check it, right? So that's the reason we have a management tool. Either you can use the WLC or either nowadays we are using the Meraki. Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Correct.
Yes.
Similarly, in case of the Palo Alto, fine. For example, let's suppose if your company is based in the India, based in the Bangalore, based in the Mumbai, based into the Philippines, based into the USA, based into the South Africa, in many countries. So definitely at many countries, so definitely there will be a multiple number of firewall. Yes or no?
Yes.
So generally to manage all the firewall at the single place, that is called Panorama. So Panorama is nothing. Panorama is just like a management tool, or you can say we are using the Panorama for the management of all the Palo Alto device. Getting my point, everyone? So in a company, generally, for example, if you log into the India location firewall, you can't change anything on the India location local firewall. If you can, yes, you can check the things, but you can't implement the things here. If you want to implement the things, you can implement by Panorama. And this is happening in the multiple companies. If you can, again, I am telling you can check the configuration, you can check the things on the where? On the local firewall, but you can't implement the change. If you want to implement the change, you need to go where? Panorama. Getting my point, everyone? Yes or no? Clear? So,
Yeah.
we will discuss Palo Alto URL filtering and about Panorama. Done, everyone? Now, after this, anyone have any idea about the Meraki?
Yes.
Right?
Yeah. Meraki is Libo setup you have used in
So,
local internet breakout.
okay. So, what are the things generally we are doing in the Meraki? Generally, we create the SSID, right? Na, everyone? Yes or no? Generally, we manage the AP. Yes, na. For example, if you want to create the guest ID, for example, this is the company, and in your company, any guest is coming. So in your company, for example, already their Wi-Fi is there. So do you provide the Wi-Fi access to this guy? Answer is no, never.
No.
Generally, we are not going to provide the access of your established network to any stranger, either the client or anyone. For this, what you will do?
It's a guest Wi-Fi.
In Iraqi, there is a one function, or you can say there is a one feature that is called guest ID. What is, guys? Guest ID, and guest ID validity is maximum for 30 days. It means for example, your name is Kapil Mishra. So this is your first name, this is your last name. So on Miraki, you put the Kapil Mishra, then select the date from you are visiting the office from, for example, today is 20 to 30. You are going to visit office for 10 days. So you will create the guest ID for how much day? 10 days. After 10 days, that user ID and password will automatically expire. That is called guest ID. Getting my point? Anyone who do not understand? Clear? Or tell me.
Yes, clear.
So we will discuss Miraki. In Miraki, we will discuss the AP. We will discuss the in AP. We will discuss in Miraki. We will discuss the yes, guest ID. Okay, I will show you actually how you can create the guest ID. Clear, everyone? Then, tell me, guys.
Yes, sir.
Now, do you have any idea about ISE? ICE. This is used for AAA, and that is called Cisco ICE. So generally, as a network engineer, the main important work of ICE is to whitelist the MAC. Whitelist the MAC. In Palo Alto, generally, what you whitelist? URL, na? Yes or no? In
Yes.
Palo Alto, you whitelist the URL. On ICE, you whitelist the MAC. Now, again, you will ask, sir, what is the use then? See, basically, in your company, there are some, what I can say, there are some SSID or some wireless network that is for that we use for the special purpose. I mean, for a special purpose means, for example, for that SSID, the bandwidth is high or like this. So that there are some SSID that we use for the special purpose. No one can use directly. If you have access, then you can use, otherwise not. So if any user want to access, what you will do? You will just whitelist their MAC address. From where? On ICE. Because on ICE, what is configured? AAA is configured. When your network do not authenticate your device, you will never be able to communicate with any SSID. For example, if you're in your company, there is established device or established network, and if you want to access that with your personal device, it will not authenticate by ICE. So first of all, what you need to do, guys? You need to whitelist your MAC address from ICE. Getting my point, everyone? Tell me, understand? So I will tell you Cisco ICE, and on ICE, what whitelist? MAC whitelist. MAC whitelist. Done. Now, do you have any idea about the DNA? Cisco DNA? Anyone? DNAC. Anyone listen this name?
Or already heard, but which function and
Yes, basically,
functionality?
for example, if in your company, for example, you need to upgrade the iOS of the switch. How can you upgrade? You go to the device, just take the console cable, right? Then you download the Cisco images like pen drive or like something. Then you generally install the iOS. Yes, na?
Or from
But for
from
example,
server. Yeah.
this switch is located in the US and you are sitting in the India. Is it possible? No. So basically, by the help of DNA, you can upgrade the switch remotely. You can upgrade the switch remotely. Getting my point? That is Cisco DNA. So I will tell you something about the Cisco DNA. Understand? Now,
Only we upgrade only the iOS or other.
multiple things. But
Oh, okay.
in a company, 95% things we doing we use the DNA for the iOS upgrade. 95%. Okay, because this is Cisco DNA is completely, you can say, new technology that is not completely established in the market. Okay, so nowadays still maximum company do not trust on Cisco DNA too much. Fine, because
There is
on Cisco DNA traffic will go publicly. There is no VPN like this. Fine, na? So maximum companies not actually trusting. Yes, Nabil.
there is not a standard DNA.
Sorry, company is the cloud based, and that cloud is provided by the Cisco. That cloud is provided by the Cisco. Okay, so that's the reason.
I mean, Shubham, for other, for example, Ericsson and other farm. I mean, so Cisco DNA is used to upgrade remotely the iOS. If
Yes.
we are using Cisco devices, if you are not using
No, just
Cisco
only
device,
iOS, only Cisco, because this is Cisco proprietary. I don't know about the in market. Do we have other DNA also? But mostly we are
other
using the Cisco.
factories, I mean, yeah.
I don't know about the different DNA, but in maximum case you see the Cisco DNA.
Okay, thank you.
So in Cisco DNA, about the Cisco DNA, okay, iOS upgrade remotely. Now, anyone know in real time, for example, how can you upgrade the iOS of the device? You guys know? Can you tell me?
Sometimes with USB stick or
Yes.
with the
I'm just
through the
asking what
server.
Cisco iOS upgrade by USB stick. Done? Everyone? Clear? I will tell you something about the service now. Service now is the ticketing tool. Okay? Clear?
Yes.
Okay. So basically, guys, these are the topic we are going to discuss.